Hello, everyone. I am here with Jos Duncan. Thank you so much for coming in the studio today.
Thank you so much for having me, Amanda.
So let's get right into it. Talk to us a little bit about your company.
I'm the founder and chief storyteller with Love Now Media. Love Now Media is a nonprofit social enterprise and a project of Culture Trust Philadelphia. Our mission is to tell stories through media production and communications initiatives that lean towards justice, wellness, and equity.
Okay. So how long when did you start this company?
I launched Love Now Media 1 year ago, just about a year ago. Okay. We're actually celebrating our first anniversary with a series of events throughout the city of Philadelphia, 11 days of love stories. So we're really excited about that.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So if someone was like, I want to know more about Love Media, how would they be able to get in contact with you?
Well, our website is lovenowmedia.com. Okay. We're on social media.
Right.
So our social media is Love Now Media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And they can just kind of Google us and check out some of the work we've been doing. We have about 50 videos on YouTube at this point, all about love. So you can actually indulge in love on our website and on our social media.
Okay. So now that we got all the information out the way, let's talk about love. I'll just say one of the most important things you want people to get out of the experience when they come in contact with your company.
So Love Now Media, we really don't tell a lot of romantic love stories. I'm an artist, a storyteller, and a filmmaker, and I've been doing work that's like very closely aligned with activism and social justice for several years. So in founding Love Now Media, I really wanted to use love as a tool to direct people to what social change looked like. So when you combine love with justice, you get an idea of what justice should look like. When you combine love with wellness, you get this idea of like what wellness feels like. When you think about love and equity, it's like this is what equity should be. So adding love to those helps to create a different set of narratives. We're kind of inundated with the narratives of what's wrong in those areas, right? So by adding love to it, we get to think about, wow, well, if love is present, then justice looks like this thing. So most of our stories aim to display what those things look like.
Can you pick one story and share the theme or the concept of just one of your stories?
So we have a web series called Revolutionary Love Stories. And in that web series, we show different people who are engaging in acts of love. Now, for most people, they view it and they feel all good. There's stories about, there's one story about an inner city girls field hockey and lacrosse team, another about an LGBT affirming church, another about a couple who has bought land and has started a community urban farm and building their house. But for me, what I see is love in action in all of those cases. There's there's food equity, when people understand how to plant their food and to grow their food and build their houses, then that's like a way to look at what's possible for housing resources. When you look at an LGBT affirming church, that looks at what it looks like when LGBT people are not marginalized from faith communities. And when you look at an inner city field hockey and lacrosse team, it looks like racial justice. What happens when young girls have access to some of the sports that are usually only made available to people in suburban communities? So I'm really kind of thinking about this work on a couple of different levels. One is, for the average person, they can look at it and feel good. But for someone who's really looking at, well, what does justice, wellness, and equity look like, they can find that.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
It makes me think about thinking about the videos. Makes me think about when you always say Big Mama or the grandmother of the family cooked with love. So that's what I'm thinking about when you say that back and those times they always said it was done in love. Even if you got a whooping, they said it was done in love.
Okay.
So it's like, this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. But talk to us. Why is sharing love so important to you?
It's important because it's an entity that, the thing about love, you know, it's familiar enough that like everybody feels kind of connected to it, but it's complex enough that everyone wants to know more. And it's also a tool for helping people to envision the future. Like when you think about love, you kind of think about hope and peace, and people get excited about building narratives around that theme. If I were to deal with, you know, fear or something like that, people might not be as excited about thinking about the future. But when you say love, then people are willing to take that journey with you. So this is my way of making social change, making a social impact by offering love as a tool to build strong narratives that will help to sustain communities and families and, you know, individuals.
Right. So give me your thoughts on Valentine's Day.
Okay. Valentine's Day. I've actually never thought about Valentine's Day. Valentine's
It's just that
Day.
one day and they sell so many cards, so many balloons, so many things with hearts on them. Do you have a thought as far as what you think that stereotype, or you saying this should be done all year long?
I think Valentine's Day is like based in some like idea that really has nothing to do with me or really the work that I'm doing. However, if I had the opportunity to kind of incorporate acts of love that build communities into a day or a month, you know, like Valentine's Day, I would love to do that.
Oh, sounds like something is brewing. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
And we'll be
Amanda.
right back.
Thank you.